We're out here and we're talking about U.S. term limits, and I've got Izzy Israel that's walking across America. I'm gonna get him to tell his story. Ironically, we were talking about coincidences earlier, and I happened to get a text from Aaron Duquette. Is that how you say it? Duquette. And I said, "Hey man, where's Izzy at? Where's Izzy today?" He says, "I don't know, but let me send you the Google Map link." Well, I look on the link and I'm like, "Oh, this must be mixed up. It must have me on there." I'm traveling down Old Nashville Highway, and I'm like, "Man, he's at Old Nashville Highway in Rocky Fork Road." I said, "That doesn't make sense." So I called him. He's like, "Oh, we're over here at this campground in Smyrna," and he didn't know this is my district here. So we're at the Nashville I-24 campground. Folks that grew up in Rutherford County in Middle Tennessee know that this is the KOA campground. So Izzy, go ahead and tell us kind of what's going on. You just made me some instant coffee, and tell us about your story, man.
Well, I pretty much lost my job like a lot of people last year in the entertainment business because of the virus, and my youngest are 19, and something that's bothered me is the fact that our U.S. lawmakers can have the capability of serving a lifetime making laws. So me and a childhood friend came up with the idea of term limits, and then land limits for term limits. So I started walking from the buoy at Key West December 22nd of last year, and headed to Cape Flattery, Washington State, which is the extremes of the continent, or the lower 48,
yeah,
southeast to northwest point, to just try to get people to take a look. Not politically at all. It's an ethical thing. I mean, would you want to have the same jury in your community for a lifetime? And tell me that doesn't run the risk of a high degree of corruptibility. So
yeah,
that was my reasoning behind it. Yeah, that's pretty
well.
much
What was your first name again? Jeff. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Jeff.
Jeff Tillman. I'm the Deputy Field Director with U.S. Term Limits. And,
yeah.
Izzy popped up on our radar when he had a story come out in Tallahassee when he was going through there. ABC did a story, and of course we picked up on anything that's to do with term limits, and we sent our state director, Byron Sheehy, down to have a conversation and see if he was the real deal.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy to run into somebody who's willing to do that.
So yeah, it wasn't even planned. He had already walked, what, 800 miles?
He was just at 800 when I ended up coming down. We put together a plan to get him a safe place to sleep at night and some good groceries, because he was struggling. His donations, he's doing it all on donor dollars, and that's we all realize everybody's on a tight budget, and
yeah,
totally self-funded, and so I asked the powers that be if maybe our donors would just shoot me down there and let me kind of tag along with them a little bit and see if this can work. And he's continued to walk. I tracked him all the way up to the Mississippi line, up through Alabama, and then of course Tennessee being his home state, I hijacked him and said, you know what, let's go work with Tennessee, because of course the House had wonderfully already passed the HJR 8, I believe it is, and we're working on the Senate.
You're working on the Senate. How's the Senate come along for you?
Well, we've got a lot of positive senators, and we encourage everybody, of course, to call their senator and let them know, hey, we need to get this resolution passed, and we'll be up in the next session.
Yeah.
And we see very positive signs coming that they'll be with it. But it does take voters calling their senator. It makes a lot of difference.
Oh, it does.
They want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah. Izzy, we were just talking off camera about you know, we're talking about the campground, and you said it's full. Why do you feel like it's full?
I think a lot of people are just abandoning the idea of owning a home in America, which you probably really don't own. As I watched my parents leave the planet, in order to get the care they needed, you know, they had to get rid of their home to be able to get the extra health care that was needed. In other words, so they had to go to a place instead of being able to be taken care of a little while longer in their homes. And I think people have just embraced the idea of if I can get all my stuff on wheels, and you know, they're packed everywhere I've been.
So other campgrounds have been packed.
Yeah, all the way through my journey so far.
How's people treated you on your journey?
Very well.
Any negativity?
Nothing that I would talk about. Worth talking about, you know, because I don't even want to spread any negativity about what I'm doing.
Well, do you say you got somebody a congressman flipped you a bird or anything?
Well, that was.
I'm just kidding.
That happened to me. It wasn't a congressman. It was a state rep.
Oh, it did happen?
In Michigan. It happens if they don't like term limits, and I'm all about that. And so I go to a lot of events and stuff, and I was passed on a highway outside of Lansing, and I don't think he.
Did he have a house tag, or did he have one of them like a?
No, I didn't get a chance to look at the tag. I just saw the face and recognized it. And
oh, you recognize the guy?
Yeah,
that's wild.
I've seen him at the Capitol before. So, and you know, it's.
What's his name?
No.
You don't say his name. Come on, man, tell us his name. What's his name?
It's free speech. And we have term limits in Michigan, and I think he's term limited out, if I recall correctly.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Because this was a few years ago, but you know, they once they get in there, they get addicted to the perks that come with being in office.
Yeah.
That happened to be Michigan, but U.S. Congress is where our focus is. That seems to be the biggest effort right here. We got to stay focused on, and Izzy's been a great help in garnering people's passion for the effort. I mean, it's pulling 80+%, both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, both sides of the aisle,
Yeah, it's not a red-blue thing. It's not Democrat, Republican. Voters in general are set up. When you pull 80–85% want this, and Congress won't do it, you got a problem.
Yeah, and I've never even asked you.